Hi! Today we are sharing the 3 most successful things our weight loss clients have in common. Hi, I'm Tammy.
We're actually sharing the 3 things our most successful weight loss clients have in common.
Whoops.
I'm Lacey.
I'm
This
Tammy.
is Tammy. We are the Nutrition Twins.
We're registered dietitians and personal trainers.
And so, yes, if you are wondering what these 3 things are, we have to tell you that it's not what you're thinking. It has nothing to do with willpower when it comes to the 3 things our most successful clients have in common.
Okay, up first, you know what they do? They record what they eat. And this is so important because you know what? It holds them accountable. And this is everything because we've had a lot of clients who have come to us and said, you know what? I just didn't feel like writing it down, so I didn't eat it.
But it's more than that. We have to tell you that when we first started out as registered dietitians and we started our business, what we saw is that people that had the most successful results in weight loss, they were the ones that wrote down what they ate. And when we check in with them 3 months later, a year later, after they'd met their weight loss goals, they were the ones that had kept the weight off. And it was pretty amazing because during this time, what we found is that we had teamed up with a company called Daytimers, and they had this journal. They'd come to us. They had leather-bound journals, and they wanted to use our weight management system to help other people lose weight because it was very successful, this recording what they ate. And so we actually wound up selling this product on QVC on New Year's Eve. But during that time, what had happened was right about like New Year's Eve time, there's a big study that came out. I believe it was like NIH or something like that. But anyway, it said that people that record what they eat lose twice as much weight as people that don't. Like
Twice as much weight as people who don't. That is pretty spectacular.
So it's not just like, okay, like a few pounds more, 2 times more weight, and they keep it off. So as Tammy was saying, 1, it holds you accountable.
Hi, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis. Hi, how are you? So it holds you accountable when you record what you eat. But there's so much more. You really use it to track yourself and see what gets you into trouble. We know for our clients, what we see is like, of course, like we see when things go really well, but what we really want to see is when things aren't going as well. That's when it's so helpful because you can say, wait, why am I always turning to a candy bar or something? Maybe it's because you really should be having a candy bar then. Who knows? You know, maybe that's because you're with a friend and you're having something satisfying.
Maybe it's something that you didn't have enough protein or enough fiber at your earlier meal, and now you're craving something, you need an energy pick-me-up when that could have been prevented.
Yes.
So it's really such a helpful tool for us and for our clients.
Hi, Katie. The first time that we ever tried recording what we eat, I don't know if you remember this, we were in college and it was like one of our first real nutrition classes. We were so excited. They had us so that we'd be like a client and practice recording what you eat, which was kind of like a pain. We didn't want to record everything, but we understood the value of it. And then we were going to have a partner and then like help them to figure out like what they should do with their nutrition. So, do you remember what happened? We're so excited.
So.
Okay, you know?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we're so excited. We're like, all right, it's our first kind of like real nutrition thing in nutrition school. We were recording what we're eating, and we were talking about it, and Tammy grabbed a snack. I think it was like, I don't remember what it was. Let's just say it was nuts. She grabbed a snack, and she's like, all right, she finished snacking and said, are you going to record what you ate? I would have forgotten. She would have forgotten. I was like, thank gosh, there's me. It's always me to save the day. Like, oh my gosh, she would have forgotten. But that's the thing. We're so unaware of what we eat. So just writing it down, or like nowadays we have our clients, they just in real time, it's like photos, we get to see what they're eating as the day goes on, and we can say, oh, you know what, that it looks like when you have that lunch, you're getting cravings at night, let's put a little more protein in, or whatever we decide we need to do. But you can track your patterns the same way. So that is one reason why recording what you eat is so helpful, and it makes you very aware, because like you could have been like you could be like Tammy, which I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but
there could be worse, I guess.
But then you might not have me around. Well, hopefully you would have me around to like help save the day and help you realize things, right?
But it's also But it's also really cool in terms of if we like to see things for our clients, and sometimes you can track it for yourself too. If you're eating out of stress, or you can find triggers for yourself, like, oh, every time at that time of day, it seems like yeah, that's the time I'm craving cookie. And you can go through it and look at your patterns and see what's happening. That's what we do with a lot of our clients and really figure out and get to the bottom of it.
Right, because sometimes you truly are hungry, and sometimes you sometimes you're not, but sometimes it might be a time where it's just like, this is a time with your friends and you always turn to this food, and it might be okay for you to have some of it, but maybe not as much as you're having. So that's where you can get in and see the patterns, which is so great. Okay, let's move on to number 2.
Yes.
So the second thing that all of our successful weight loss clients have in common is, do you know?
I know. Well, I don't know if I was going to do number 2 or number 3 first, but I do know. So what they do is they do not just focus.
Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. They don't just focus on cutting out anything.
No, it's not like, all right, I'm going to be successful. Our successful weight loss clients know that it's not about cutting out, like, not eating carbs. It's not about, like, the keto diet. It's not about that. It's about them feeling satisfied.
And satisfied long term.
Yeah. So it's just like, definitely 99% of the time, that means they're eating wholesome carbohydrates. They're eating protein. They're eating colorful foods that fuel their metabolism, that help their metabolism to get going, that gives them the nutrients that their body can use to actually lose weight and get belly fat. That's one of it. And they lose belly fat. And also that are emotionally satisfying. Because if it's not emotionally satisfying, how long are you going to be able to do it for, right?
A lot of people, they're like, well, I tried the keto diet, or they tried cutting out all carbs. And how sustainable is that? It's really not, like, they might lose weight initially, but long term, like, that's not even, if you want to go out to dinner with your friends and suddenly you're like sitting by yourself, well, I can't have anything here, so I'm just going to sit in the corner. So
it's not going to be
sustainable long term. And then the other thing is, those people go back, we see it all of the time. They go back to eat normally and they haven't learned anything. They just tried this no carb diet. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
And they
Thanks
come
for
back.
joining.
Thanks for joining. And they come back to eating normally, and they gain back all of the weight.
Right. So it's really important. What we see, like, back to the tracking of the recording of the food, is that what we see when, like, I actually get really nervous when my clients, our clients, but
yes, I know what you're going to say.
Okay.
They don't write down what they're, like, suddenly they don't write down what they ate.
Yeah, they write down when they're eating perfectly. And, that's great.
Or what they think is perfectly, or what they
perfectly.
want.
There's no such thing as perfect.
There is no thing.
There's no such thing as perfect.
But I think when they feel really good when they write down something that they think they want us to see.
Yeah, and which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all lose weight when we're eating perfectly. But that's not what helps them. I want to see, what are they eating when they get into trouble? What sets them off? What is their patterns? Like, so I get really nervous, and this is not as good for weight loss success for them, if they just, like, they record.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. They record what they eat when they're not hungry, or when they're doing well, but then they say, it was a bad day. I didn't eat as I planned. I'm like, how am I supposed to get in there and see your patterns and see why it was a bad day and why you didn't eat as you planned, and maybe it's okay that you had what you had, but maybe you just want less of it. What if I see that, every time that you have a bad day at work, you think you're hungry, but you're eating a whole tub of ice cream and you're not really hungry? But what if you're out with your friends and you just want a little ice cream? So recording what you eat but feeling satisfied, that is our successful weight loss clients. They know they have to feel satisfied, and like we said, 99.9% of the time, that means they're eating wholesome carbs, colorful foods, and also protein, and foods that emotionally satisfy them.
So, and that combination of the wholesome carbohydrates, the colorful vegetables, and the protein at every meal, because that's what's sustaining them, that's filling.
I mean, we've made tons of mistakes in our life. We are huge sweet tooth girls, and so we thought, like, we knew better, like, okay, we cannot live without our sweets, so, like, we didn't try going down that path where, like, relied on willpower. We were just like, you know what? If we want this, we'll just, if we want to eat this food, like, we didn't know how to control it, so we'll just, like, not eat earlier in the day. Well, we missed all of those important nutrients that helped us feel satisfied and that fueled our metabolism. And speaking of metabolism, let's move to number 3. Yeah. So number 3. You want to say it, or do you want me to? So number 3 thing that is that 3 things that our most successful weight loss clients have in common. Number 3 is that they embrace that their body is unique, and that it's not about a keto diet. It's not about what diet or that diet they're following. It's about when they realize that it's getting their unique body to function at its peak. So boosting their metabolism, making sure that their cortisol or other hormones are not getting in the way of their weight loss, and really boosting their personal energy levels and their immunity so their body can focus at its peak. Because even if you have a great diet, if your body's not functioning at its peak, there's no way you'll be able to stay at your ultimate goal or even necessarily get there.
And we see this a lot, and a lot of our clients are aware that inflammation is a big part of the picture. So when their bodies are working efficiently, when they're not inflamed, when they're eating the right foods and they're doing the right things and fighting stress, it's kind of an all around thing where they're sleeping enough, their inflammation goes down, and then they realize that, this I'm unique. I have to get my whole body working together as a system, and then the weight will fall off. And that's what actually happens a lot of times. It's a whole thing. It's stress, like Lisa mentioned. It's the cortisol with the belly fat relation.
Well, we find many times that people just aren't, they're digesting their food, but they're not really assimilating and absorbing it, and so they're not really getting the nutrients that they need to fuel their body with energy. They're not to lower their cortisol, so they have trouble with belly fat. They're not getting the nutrients that they need, even if they're eating them. So yes, it's super important to eat a healthy diet and get those nutrients, but if they're not digesting, assimilating of them, if their body's not metabolizing them right, they're never going to be at their ultimate goal. It's just impossible. So one of the things that we do is we get in there, we evaluate, we see, if for instance, one of our clients, this was just the other day, this is my client, she was bloated in the stomach, right? And she was like, I just feel like I can't lose belly fat. But we were analyzing and evaluating, and I'm like, wow, she's bloated. Like her system, it's not actually taking advantage of the food. It's sitting in her body. She's not digesting them well. And we do a bunch of other evaluations. We had to help her to digest her food better before she could actually see the results that she was working so hard for. Because then actually the bloat went down, her body worked better, and she felt so much better. Like the energy was through the roof.
And that's actually so common. I mean, I know you're mentioning it now, but that's a theme amongst many people is they're not digesting their food well, and most people don't realize
they might be digesting it, but they're not assimilating, so they're not getting the nutrients. And so that's something that's so important. And I have to tell you that one of the things that we see the most with some of our most successful weight loss clients are the very ones that come to us and say, I don't know what to do. I'm panicked. I used to use all of these techniques. I'd have a go-to that I would just go to when I wanted to lose weight, and my old tricks aren't working.
Hi,
Megan. How are you? And they say my old tricks aren't working, and they panic.
You know what they always say though? They always say their body betrays them. They feel like their body betrayed them. Like what their go-to that always worked in the past is suddenly not working anymore. Like they're like, I used to do this. I would eat this and this. I would have this. I would exercise this amount and always worked, and then they're like, now my body's betraying me. I don't know what's happening.
And
it's not working anymore.
Totally panicked, and it's a horrible feeling because you feel like. But let me tell you something. If this is you, your body has not betrayed you. If you feel like people say, oh, they come to us and they say it's very common. Like I did this, maybe it's because I'm 2 years older or 10 years older. Maybe my body doesn't do that. But our most successful clients are the ones that come to us. Hi, Lori. Are the ones that come to us actually saying this because they're so open and ready to embrace the fact that their body needs a tune-up, that they need to just tune up their body, that they need to really just get they're willing to recognize the fact that health is dynamic. So just because something worked for you in the past and it doesn't work for you anymore, it doesn't mean you're doomed, that nothing will work for you. And it doesn't mean your body betrayed you. It's just that something has to be, health is dynamic.
So things are changing all the time.
Right. So you just need a tune-up for where your body is now. And 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100 actually, it's not following that old trick that used to work. It was a trick because it was probably something that worked temporarily. Now, as they take time and they get so excited because they feel like as I'm getting my body feeling better, I'm waking up with energy, I'm watching my belly fat go down, I'm watching my weight go down, and my body's feeling like, and one of my clients said this, I was so excited, I texted Tammy the other day, she said, I haven't felt like this and I never thought I would since I was in my 20s. And she's in her late 30s. And so that was just because we were tuning up her body and she was dropping weight because of that. So that's something that's so important. Most people don't realize. They think it's all about just eating this or that. And while that is important, it's really about, our successful clients do, they embrace the fact that it's part of the process is getting their body to function at its peak, because only then can you see the results that you deserve. Only then, when your body is just feeling like a rock star, you start to look like a rock star, right? Because if your body's fighting you along the way, you could have the best diet in the world, but if you're super stressed out and your cortisol's through the roof, like you'll never lose the body fat the way that you want. You'll never get down to the belly fat. So this is something we see all the time. And like we said, some of our most successful clients are the very ones that come to us in the most despair because they're so willing to embrace the fact that they need a little tune-up, that it's more than just what they're eating. Like they just like, help me, just show me. And then they feel so good. It's like addictive. They never want to not feel that good. So they're constantly working and to make their body the best that it can be. But the cool thing is, it really takes the pressure off of like feeling like, oh, I have to rely on willpower, because you're not relying on willpower. You're getting your body into the best shape it can be while you're eating these foods that are fueling you, and also some foods that are emotionally satisfying you. So if you are someone that is just like, I'm so beside myself, I'm not seeing results, like my old tricks are not working.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce. If you feel like your old tricks are not working, first of all, remember, there's no old trick. There's nothing like that. It's not probably good for you.
Your body hasn't betrayed you.
No, it has not betrayed you.
And your body wants to feel good. Like, we're all programmed, like, our bodies want to get healthy and they want to feel good.
Yeah, and one of the things about that is that when you start realizing, like, first of all, that, as Tim said, your body has not betrayed you, it's so important to realize that just because something worked for you before and it's not working for you now, or just because something worked for you or work for a friend and it's not working for you, it doesn't mean that your body can't lose weight. We 100% promise you that you can see results no matter who you are. 100%. 100%. It's just sometimes a matter of tweaking it or changing it, or you just haven't found the plan that works for your lifestyle and your body right now. But you can lose weight. We promise you that. And if you're someone that's struggling, it's ridiculous to spend that energy, and it's so frustrating, and to worry about like what your next meal is and is your body going to respond, then you do not need to struggle. We have to promise you that. You can set up a free call with us and we can tell you, we'll get a good understanding of what's going on for you and see how we can best help you. It's a no pressure call, and you can just go to our website, nutritiontwins.com, one-on-one counseling, and just set up and then you can set up a free call. But I want to tell you about one of our clients recently that did this, and she was one of the ones that we were telling you about that are just like, my body's not working for me. My body is not working for me. My old tricks are not working, and I'm so freaked out. She came to us and she was so scared because she had been for years, her old trick she would go to, and it stopped working for her. And she said, now I did it this time. I didn't lose a pound. I don't know if it's because I'm older now. I was in a relationship for 8 years, and now I want to get back out there on a date. And I went to take off my sweatpants, and there I was. I couldn't button any of my pants. And she said it totally wrecked her self-esteem. And she said, I'm at the point, like, am I just going to keep getting bigger? Like, I just don't know what to do with myself. And it was so upsetting. And so, but we knew, like, I just wanted to, like, give her a hug and just tell her, and we did, that this is, you 100% can lose weight. We promise you. It's not about, your body's not betraying you. You're not broken. But she was so willing and open to engaging and to accepting the fact that her unique body is beautiful, and she just needed to tweak it a little bit. And we just tweaked a few things. We got her to lower her cortisol. We improved her digestion, and she has already, it's only been 3 months, but she's off to the races. She's already lost 15 pounds. She couldn't get the scale to budge. She's eating foods that she loves. She's like, I cannot believe this is not about willpower. Like, she's just like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. In fact, anything that didn't feel right for her. Like, in fact, she's actually eating the foods that she loves, and she's losing weight like this. So if this is you, if you relate to this, like, and you've been struggling, you feel like your body's betraying you, it won't. But see how we can help you. We'd love to. It's a free, no pressure call, just to get a good understanding of what's going on for you and how we can best help you. So nutritiontwins.com, one-on-one counseling, and then under there, just set up a free call, 30-minute free call. And there you have it. The 3 things our most successful clients have in common. They record what they eat. They realize that it's not about cutting out something. A list of, like, eliminating this food.
No carbs or no fat or anything like that.
It's about eating satisfying foods that really fill them up, that last. That's what equals long-term success.
With protein, fiber, veggies, and
colorful foods that fuel their metabolism.
And some foods that they enjoy, like their same favorite foods, not cutting anything out.
So important. And thirdly, they embrace the fact that their body is unique and that they have a plan that works just for their body and their unique body, and getting their unique body to work at its best is what really is going to get their body to lose weight and let go of the weight. And there you have it. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a great night.
Bye.